Coach, they were up, I think it was 38 with 7 minutes to play. I mean, how much do you look at everything that you guys are doing, scheme, the whole thing, when the margin is that big when you're playing an unranked team?
Well, again, it was beyond schemes. I mean, I thought they came out at the very beginning and they punched us, and we didn't respond. And it didn't get better throughout the ball game. And as a coach, I got to get this team more ready to go. And I'm talking about from beginning to end. And when I look at the stat sheet offensively, we had nothing from a perimeter standpoint, and they had a lot to do with that because of their physicality. And we can't complain and not play through it. We just got to get a little tougher. And you go 9 for 43 with your perimeter play, it's going to be tough to beat anybody in college basketball.
Zach, then Mike?
I guess, Mike, I recognize it's probably easier from a perspective when you've watched the film, but that 9-minute stretch where it goes from a 6-point deficit to a 26-point deficit, from a coach's perspective, do you have any feel for just kind of what opens the floodgates on you guys there in terms of maybe the way you're playing or what you're not executing?
Well, again, defensively, it's kind of always been our signature, and we just didn't have it tonight. I mean, from ball screens to ball movement, we just took nothing away, and we've been pretty good in those areas. And tonight we had nothing for Louisville, so I got to give them credit because they played extremely well, and we got to somehow go back and regroup. I mean, that's the nature of playing college basketball. You get your butt beat like this here, you hope you learn, but don't have a quick turnaround. You do have a quick turnaround. I mean, we play the winner between Gonzaga and West Virginia tomorrow, and we got to see what we made of, see if we can rebound and bounce back.
Mike and then Kyle.
Yeah, Coach. Rice, Carlisle, and Galloway combined for 3 points. How did that happen?
Again, it's just not those two I just mentioned. We went 9 for 43 with our perimeter play, and that's tough to overcome. I mean, you're not going to beat anybody that way, and then you compound it with 23 turnovers, something that's probably more turnovers than we've had since I've been here as a coach, and that's tough. I mean, you're not going to be very many teams turning it over 23 times in perimeter play and going 9 for 43. So those are things that are fixable. We got to just clean them up and see if we can rebound tomorrow.
Kyle and then Jack.
Coach, how do you tell your team to kind of put this game behind you and move on to the next one like this?
Well, it's tough. These are young men, and I get it, but the games are not going anywhere. I mean, we got a game tomorrow night, and we got to go back and put them through this film session and see if we can learn from it, and see if I can get them over the hump and get them back going again for tomorrow night. Because these games come so quickly, and you can't run from it. So I'm not going to let us forget this game. I mean, because this was embarrassing, and you got to give Louisville credit because they played their butts off, but we didn't play Indiana basketball. I didn't think.
Jack and then Trevor.
Yeah, Mike, the 23 turnovers, how much do you credit that to unfamiliarity with each other, and is the team not as far along in that respect as you wanted to at this point?
Well, again, I mean, I'm not using that as an excuse. I mean, we've had a few games that we've had some good basketball play and some bad basketball play, but at the end of the day, you still got to take care of the basketball if you're going to score the ball. And 23 times we didn't get opportunities to do that because we hand delivered it to our opponent. So we just got to come back and get better in that area and get our guys making shots and feeling good. But we got to do better defensively, and we just got out toughed, and that's unacceptable to me.
Trevor.
Hey, Malik. It seemed like Louisville really delivered a punch early. What did you guys kind of feel like coming into the game, and what did you think of your competitiveness as a team, especially early and then early in that second half?
I think we had great intentions. We had a great start going into the game.
I think we just didn't execute the game plan that Coach Woodson had, especially on the defensive end. We guarded certain people, knowing what we're doing. I had a couple of mistakes myself. So it was just like not a lack of focus towards the style we had, and just not giving it all out when we was on the court.
Okay, we've got a couple questions from Zoom, so we'll go with Zion Brown and then Daniel Flake.
I can't hear you. Can you turn your volume up?
How do you turn that around?
I didn't hear your question. Your volume was down.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can.
With what Malik was just talking about, with the lack of attention and the lack of focus that he felt you guys had during the game, when you sense that amongst your team in the middle of a game, how do you try to turn that around and flip that?
Well, it's not easy. You know, I mean, we could just never get it going. I thought, you know, we made a couple buckets starting the second half, and they just counted right back, and then it just got out of hand. We couldn't make shots. We turned the ball over, and it just led to easy buckets for them. And once they got the cushion, they felt good about their play. So, you know, it's just something that we're going to have to learn from, because we can't go back and get this game. And like I said, tomorrow we jump it up again tomorrow, so I got to get this ball club ready to play tomorrow night.
Daniel, then Zach Browning.
Yeah, Mike, after last game, I wanted to say you mentioned how frustrated you were with the lack of assists that you guys had. You only have 10 tonight. How frustrating is it to kind of see something that you emphasize not translate?
Well, it's tough because, again, you only have 10 assists because you turn it over 23 times. Those are opportunities you give yourself a chance to score, and we just didn't do that. And, you know, that's just, you know, we've been averaging around, I think, 11, 12 turnovers a game since we've started, and it's kind of where you like to be, or a little less than that, but 23 is just way too many. I mean, you're not going to beat very many teams in college basketball doing that.
Okay, Zach Browning.
Coach, you were frustrated after the win over Eastern Illinois. Kind of what was the message to the team after that, and what kind of led to them, I guess, not being ready for this game today?
Well, again, you know, we had some tough practices after that, and again, you know, practices are what they are. You know, we work our asses off in practice, and I push guys to do the right thing, and you hope when you get to the ball game, everything just kind of flows. And tonight we went backwards, and I got to get us going forward.
Last question, Zach.
I guess, Malik, just to kind of follow up on something we talked about earlier, just in a game like this, how difficult as a team is it not to maybe start pressing, start trying to you know, sort of do too much too quickly when you feel like the game's getting away from you?
Sorry, can you say that one more time?
Just how difficult is it maybe to not, as individual players, start pressing, try and force things, try and make things happen when you feel like the game's getting away from you?
Yeah, I mean, that only makes the game worse for us. I mean, people trying to do it by themselves, it just only causes more turnovers. I mean, you may get a couple buckets in there, but I mean, our focus as a group is just trying to play together from here on out and keep going from there.
All right, thanks, guys.